Hello everyone, I am Professor Balram Tamrakar, Assistant Professor, EC Department, KIET Group of Institution. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss control system engineering, and in this regard, we have to discuss the introduction of time response analysis of the control system. Now, in the basis of this, come with the content. In the content, we have time response and its classification, standard test signals, response of the first order systems, impulse response of the first order systems, and the last one is the step response of the first order system. That is the content. Now come with the first one. In the time response analysis, if the output of control system for an input varies with respect to the time, then it is called the time response of the control system. The time response consists of two basic parts. First one is the transient response. Second one is the steady state response. Now, the response of the control system in the time domain as shown in this particular figure. Come with this particular diagram. That is the basic diagram regarding time response analysis. In this, the curve shows between the output versus time. Here CT is indicated output or response of the system. So in control system, there are the two terms when I am reading about the time response analysis. First one is the transient state and second one is the steady state. Now, as per the fundamental concept, what is the transient state? Transient state, just you read about in the network analysis subject, just after switching, what's happened? That's called in the transient state. So after 40 interval, where capital T is the time constant, so after 4T interval, the steady state will come. Here, I am not defining the capital T, but generally that is the point 4T. Okay, where capital T is the time constant and it is 4 times. After that, response approaches to the steady state. Steady state, that means where the response having a constant value, in which fundamentally we can understand if time t approaches to infinite, then suppose we have exponent signal e raised to power minus 5t, then if time t approaches to infinity, then e raised to power minus infinity, that will be 0. So your response approaching to 0. In other terms, we can say that it's a constant value. Okay. So that is the fundamental concept behind transient state and steady state. Now come with the next. Here, both the transient and steady state are indicated in the figure as I have told in the previous slide. Okay. Now, the response corresponding to these states are known as the transient state and steady state response. Mathematically, we can write the time response CT as this relation: CT is equal to CTRT plus CSST. First part indicated for response behind the transient and last one behind the steady state. So when we are adding total response, transient response adding with the steady state response, then we will get a overall response of the control system. Clear? Now come with the next. Okay, after applying input to the control system, output takes a certain time to reach steady state. So the output will be in transient state till it goes to a steady state. Therefore, the response of the control system during the transient state is known as the transient response. Mathematically, we can write this one CTR of t in which time t tends to infinite, it becomes 0. As in the last slide we told, if we have take another exponential signal just like e raised to power minus 5t, then if t is equal to 0, then e raised to power minus infinity becomes 0. So this example showing this particular case. Now come with the next. That is the basic example. The part of the time response that remains even after the transient response has 0 value for large values of t is known as steady state response. This means the transient response will be 0 even during the steady state. Okay? Now that is the basic example. Suppose we have to find the transient and steady state terms of the time response of the control system in which Ct equal to 10 plus 5 e raised to power minus t. Okay. So that second term 5 e raised to power minus t will be 0 as t denotes infinity. So this is the transient term, and the first term 10, that is the constant term, remains even as t approaches infinity because that is the constant term. So this is the steady state term. Clear? Now come with the next. Okay, that is the another important topic in which we have to mention and we have to analyze the standard test signals. Okay? In this particular course, if I am saying about the standard test signals, then keep in mind that is the unit step function, unit impulse function, unit ramp function and unit parabolic function. That are the basic test signal that is used in the time response analysis for appropriating act as a input. Okay? Now first one, if I am having any unit impulse signal, then according to the block diagram representation for the impulse function, here del t is equal to 0. That means impulse function is defined only for time t is equal to 0. Okay? And it becomes 0 where t does not equal to 0. Now there are the two terms. If you are corresponding the continuous time signal, then we will say del t, and we are not going for the discrete time signal here. Okay? So it will correspond a unit area. That is also read you in the signal system or also in network analysis subjects. So the unit area for this particular signal will be unity. Now another formula or another relation is the integration 0 minus to 0 plus del t dt is equal to 1. That is the property of the impulse function. Clear? So the unit impulse signal exists only at t is equal to 0. The area of this signal under small interval of time around t is equal to 0 is 1. The value of unit impulse signal is 0 for all other values of t. Okay, that is correspond to the unit impulse. Now come with the next. That is the unit step function or unit step signal. So the unit step signal exists for all positive values of t including 0 and its value is 1 during this interval. The value of the unit step signal is 0 for all negative values of t. So mathematically it can be defined as this one. Ut is equal to 1 when t greater or is equal to 0. It becomes 0 for t less than 0. That is the fundamental definition for unit step function. Now that is the basic structure, or you can say that a systematic representation for unit step function. Okay, that is the area in which having amplitude 1 up to the infinite values. For t infinite, it becomes a constant value having unity. Now come with the next. Okay, now that is the another important test signal, that is the ramp signal or ramp function. So according to the mathematical definition, the RT is equal to T for T greater or equal to 0, and it becomes 0 for T less than 0. Okay, now in other terms we can say that RT is equal to 2 into UT. Okay, another representation for ramp in respect with the unit step function. That is the fundamental diagram or systematic way for ramp function, that is having a slope t. If this one having a unity slope, then we can say that RT is equal to t. Suppose we have k times slope, then it becomes k times t, but in the test signal we are taking a unit. Okay, that's why I'm saying unit ramp. Now come with the next. Okay, next is the unit parabolic function. Mathematically, unit parabolic function can be defined as pt equal t square by 2 for t greater or equal to 0. It becomes 0 for t less than 0. Now another representation in terms of step function, this one, t square upon 2 ut, and its representation like this one. Okay, pt versus t. Come with the next. Okay, come with the response of the first order system. That's basic block diagram representing the first order control system. See our topic. Topic is the response of first order system. So in this chapter, let us discuss the time response of the first order system. Consider the following block diagram. Okay, that is a closed loop control system and open loop transfer function. That is the open loop transfer function 1 upon st is connected with a unity negative. That portion indicated a unity feedback having negative sign. That's why calling unity feedback with the negative feedback. Okay, now in first unit we have read about how to calculate the overall transfer function of the given control system. So if we want to find out the overall response, that is the overall transfer CS divided RS, so we know that that is the forward part transfer function 1 upon st, this one, and that is the feedback part transfer function HS having unity value. So the total formula is GS upon 1 plus GSHS. Why I am saying in the denominator portion plus? Because negative sign available. That's why saying GS upon 1 plus GS into HS. Here HS is 1. Now come with the next. That is the calculation regarding the previous block diagram. So CS upon RS is the GS upon 1 plus GS because HS is 1. Now substitute GS equal to 1 upon ST in this particular equation because GS is 1 upon ST in the previous diagram. Look, this one 1 upon ST is the GS. So put the value of GS in this particular numerical formula. So after simplification we will get this one 1 upon ST plus 1. Now that is the CS upon RS. CS upon RS, that is overall GS. Overall GS, that is the CS upon RS. So what is the GS? GS is the transfer function of the system. So what I am calculating at that point? CS upon RS, that is the overall transfer function, and it's representing by the function GS. We can write GS. Okay, this one. Look, GS is equal to CS upon RS. So suppose if we want to find out the output of the system, then come with this particular formula. CS cross multiply RS, so 1 upon HT plus 1 into RS. So CS is the output response in the S domain, Laplace domain. Clear? Now come with the next. Yes, that is the some considerations. Follow these steps to get the response of the first order control system. Take the Laplace transform of the input signal RT. RT is the input signal, and take the Laplace transform of RT. Consider the equation this one, CS equal to this one. Substitute RS values in the above equation. That means Laplace transform of RT. Do the partial fraction. Yes, that is mandatory. Do the partial fraction for CS. If required, I am saying, because in most of the case we have to do partial fraction, and after that we will get the inverse Laplace. So we will get CET. CET is the actual response or output in the time domain. So apply inverse Laplace, that is the last one. Now come with the next. That is the total process as I have told in the previous slide. So RS is the 1, CS is equal to this one into 1. Now come with the next. Now after simplification we will get CT. Take the inverse Laplace transform. So we will get 1 upon capital T e raised to power minus t upon capital T into ut. That equation is representing the response, actual response in the time domain or output. Okay, come with the next. That is that diagram representing the scenario for output response versus t, and that is the point where indicated 1 upon capital T when t is equal to 0. So response is 1 upon t. Now the unit impulse response CT is an exponentially decaying signal for positive values of t, and it is 0 for negative values of t. That diagram shows this particular heading. That is the outcome of this particular diagram. Now come with the next. Okay. Now step response of the first order system. Suppose if we want to find out the step response, that means we have input RT is equal to UT, unit step function. Then what becomes output? So we have to mention if we are taking the input as a step response. So in this RT, here RT is not ramp, RT is the input signal and just equal to UT. That means we are taking input as a unit step function. So RS will be 1 by S, the Laplace of RT. Apply CS is equal to this one. Okay. Now put RS value because RS is 1 by S. Substitute this one. Now that is the basic equation in which we have to apply partial fraction. Again I am saying CS, this one, do partial fraction and take inverse Laplace. Then we will get CT. CT is what? Output or response regarding step function. Okay. So come with the next. Look. At that point what we have? CS is equal to this one. Okay. 1 upon this one. Do the partial fraction. So after partial fraction, A upon S plus B upon ST plus 1, simplify this particular equation, and after that we will get like this one, A, B constant value. So calculate all the values of A and B, partial fraction coefficient, and after simplification we will get CS is equal to this one, like this one. So arrange or simplify in a standard form so that we can take inverse Laplace. So that is the basic fundamental representation. Take the inverse of this one, then we will get CT. 1 minus e raised to power minus t upon capital T ut. Here ut term taken common. So that is the response of the control system when it is subjected to unit step function. Clear? Come with the next. Okay, that is the diagram indicated for the transient term in the unit step response given by this relation. Okay, now come with the steady state term in the unit step response. So steady state term is represented by u of t. Now come with the next. Thank you very much for watching this video.